Well, here we are, back in 2024. Who would have thought I'd be making makeup content?
Not me.
Hello all. Hi everyone, my name is Darius, also known as NeonMUA, and I am a makeup content creator, and I'm back, finally, to make some makeup content. No, in all seriousness, I have been off of the socials for what feels like forever in terms of makeup content creation. It's been very slow, and as of lately, I've just felt like I wanted to get back into it and get back into it in the best way that I know how, which is long form YouTube videos. So despite the algorithm hating me, here we are. I won't do anything sappy like where have I been, what's been going on, blah blah blah. We're literally just going to put some makeup on and we're going to keep it pushing. So today we're literally going to be trying out a bunch of new herb makeup. Literally anything I put on at this moment could be considered new, but we're going to be putting on new makeup. And we're just going to get into some old school things. So follow me on all the socials, which is NeonMUA. And without further ado, let's jump into it right now. Clearly, I am rusty. Yeah, we were just doing an old school type of like hot or not, new makeup releases, things of that nature. And we're just going to jump into it. Start off with the One Size Secure the Glow Tacky Hydrating Primer. So this is essentially supposed to be a tacky grip primer. Think milk makeup, hydro grip. And like first initial thoughts, this does have a slight tat to it, but it doesn't feel as tacky as milk hydro grip. But I don't think that's a bad thing, because while I love hydro grip personally, and clearly the entire world does, I feel like hydro grip almost does itself a disservice by being so grippy that it's hard to blur and push into the skin. This, I feel like, goes on like skincare, like a skincare serum, and it still has a bit of a tackiness to it. So, you know. Next, we're going to move into a foundation, and although I know About Face has a new foundation out that I actually bought, I want to see that first separate video. Instead, I'm going to be trying out the new e.l.f. Hydrating Camo CC Cream. If you've tried the original Camo foundation or CC cream from e.l.f., you know that it's everything. Like, personally, I love that. That is probably the best e.l.f. foundation out there. So in case you guys didn't know the difference between like BB CC creams, because that's something I've always like been confused about, and also because of the fact that I have a deeper complexion, BB and CC creams are non-existent for us until recently. Essentially, BB cream is supposed to be blemish balms or beauty balms, so they're thinner, more lightweight. And then CC creams are supposed to be a foundation but offer lighter coverage, and it is more so of a complexion corrector or color corrector. From my memory of the original CC cream from e.l.f., I feel like it had a very high coverage, so I'm not entirely sure about the claims of a lighter than foundation wear. Also, the Camo line from e.l.f. is known to be very, well, not very mattifying in a bad way, but it's also known just to be more mattifying than most. So a hydrating formula of this seems to be very nice, especially this time of year. We are filming this on February 1st. Happy Black History Month. And I'm just tapping this in with a flat end brush, a flat kabuki brush. This is actually the Sigma F80 flat kabuki brush, which, hey, if you guys like Sigma and you like supporting Black content creators and like supporting people like me, then you should go ahead and shop Sigma Beauty and use my coupon code NeonMUA to save at checkout. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. We need to pay bills here, and Sigma likes to help pay the bills. So, thoughts on this foundation? Honestly, I've always found it interesting that e.l.f. attached the CC cream title to these foundations, because honestly, they feel like legit foundations. Despite the CC name, which could be more so of a color corrector, because it very much does that. This is definitely more of a medium coverage foundation. I think that it should be titled that, but you know, e.l.f. does whatever they want to do. So hey, overall, I think that this is a beautiful foundation. Huda Beauty has, if you guys have seen recently, they've released some more of their complexion based products that fall in the line of the peach versus pink debate that's been going on in beauty, where people are understanding how undertones work. Huda Beauty essentially launched some new shades of their pressed powder, their under eye concealer, and their loose powder. They've put out more warm and more cool tone shades. They've released a new loose powder in peach pie, which is for lighter complexions, and a new pressed powder in peach pie, also for lighter complexions. But then for the cool complexions, they've launched a new color corrector in the shade Lychee, which is supposed to be the first deep pink color corrector. Again, this is a color corrector, so I'm going to apply this first under the eye, blend that out, and then we're going to move into actual concealer. And it says to apply a dot in the inner corner for brightening, and then to color correct 2 more dots. I'm just blending this out with a Sigma F64 soft blend concealer brush. In terms of a color corrector, this does feel easier to blend out. One thing that I've always had like issues with when it comes to color correcting is that a lot of color correctors were very thick and a bit more greasy. I think that was just a sign of like the products at the time, because obviously there wasn't a whole lot of color corrector going on 7 years ago when I first started in beauty. The little e.l.f. color corrector pans, which were greasy and honestly felt like grease paint as opposed to makeup. You can definitely see it is running pink, but I think it is a beautiful color for deep complexions. So I will give Huda that in terms of creating a true pink color corrector. So we're going to move into actual concealer. This is the new Fenty Beauty We're Even Hydrating Longwear Concealer. I am wearing the shade 430, and we're just going to apply that in the same area, and then obviously like actually conceal. Don't mind me, I'm still trying to remember how to actually do my makeup, so I'm going to blend this out real quick with a sponge. But mentioning that because Colourpop, one day we're going to talk about Colourpop in detail, because obviously you guys know my past, but Colourpop has released their Valentine's collection. They came up with a sponge that is color changing, and I'll insert clips of the colors changing here, but I'm going to use that to actually blend more of that concealer out. So everything looks really good so far. Let's see, we're going to take this Milani Cheek Kiss cream bronzer in the shade Mocha Moment, and I'm going to use that to bronze. I don't think I've ever talked about this, but maybe like once or twice, but like I don't like using contour on my nose to contour. I personally like using bronzers on my nose as opposed to contours. Obviously, like in 6 years ago, whenever all of us were getting into beauty, the chisel nose and like the super defined face was like a big thing, and that's still like a thing in certain places, but I just feel like bronzers, especially on deeper complexions, looks really nice as a contour as opposed to actual contour, because it's not as harsh. Deeper contours for deeper complexions are going to run grayer and bluer, which is fine because that's what contours are supposed to do, but I don't like gray and blue on my nose. Like I like my nose, like the center of my face should still look bright and lifted. That's why I like using bronzers on my nose. But the rest of the face, contour. Given that sometimes I feel like Milani's complexion can be hit or miss in terms of shade range, I do like this. Do I think this could go deeper? Absolutely, because this is going to work great for like a lot of people in my complexion range, but it could also go deeper. It's always hard because you want to congratulate and applaud things that are working well in the industry, but also at what point do we let the bullshit keep sliding? Because it's great that I can use these products, but as I've said time and time before, I'm not the deepest person. I'm not the deepest complexion. But also, like, I've created like the best contours and bronzers out there in my opinion. Or at least created the groundwork for the best bronzers and contours out there. I'll put it that way.
That's tea, actually.
There's minimal creasing without setting on those products, which is great. So while we're baking, something I never did in the past, and we're going to do today, is do my brows on camera. Alright, for brows, we have the Revolution Makeup, what is it? Revolution Makeup Brow Gel Brow Pencil. I know that's not what it's called. The Fluff and Feather, is that what it's called? Gosh, you see how great I am at my job. But it's basically Revolution's new brow pencil. I'm showing this to you guys because look at the tip. That's the tip. And like, look how thin it is. That is a very sharp tip. It just flat and sharp, and that's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm here for. So I'm gonna start by pressing it flat against my brow to fill in and create shape. Well, she's pigmented. And then I'm gonna take the flat side and use that to create brow strokes. I'm not mad at this whatsoever. It has really great precision, and it has a lot of pigment to it, so that's great. It also has a brow gel. We're going to use that to, do what brow gels do. I don't hate these. I just feel like a lot of times with brow gels, it's always hard because like either the brow gel is too thick and it messes up any kind of foundation or stuff you have on under your base, or whatever, or it's too thin and it doesn't lift the brows. This lifted the brows. We're gonna see how this looks once my makeup is done. I'm not mad at it. We're gonna do the eyes, and I want to do something that's very Valentine's themey, very lovey, like Valentine's, whatever. The inspiration I have is a mix of this look from Frederick Chin and a mix of the Happy Lover Yu-Gi-Oh card. I don't know why. This is just where my head canon is going. So we're gonna try to attempt something of that nature, okay? And I'm going to be using the Lost in Love palette from Colourpop from their Valentine's collection. We're going to take the shade Yours Truly. Yours Truly is this deeper berry pink, and I'm going to start by applying that in the inner corner. Next, we're going to take the shade Just Us, which is a slightly lighter pink. We're going to stamp it right in here in the outer third of the eye. And I don't know what I'm doing still. I'm going to take the shade Dibs. Dibs is a pale light pink, and I'm going to put that on the outer edges of the wing area, and I'm working it into the area that the wing shape is going to be, and then also we're going to clean it up. So we're going to start here, and I'm also going to drag that up into that darker pink area. Now what I'm thinking of, hopefully this vision comes together, I'm just going to outline the wing in whites and then fill in the rest of the shape, so bear with me.
A few moments later.
Okay, I don't hate that. So there's that shape. What I want to do on the bottom lash line. So I have this Winter Wonderland palette from Cosmic Brushes, and we have this whole top row here of like lavenders that we're going to use. So you're going to do that. Also, I have a code for Cosmic Brushes as well if you're interested in buying this palette. It's NeonMUA. NeonMUA is my code for everything. So just 35.5 hours later, and here we are. The concept is there. We're just gonna we're gonna go in and do some things. Don't worry, it's all good. We have these Jelly Much eyeshadows. This is in the shade All Love, which is like a pinky shadow, and this is probably the first time I've ever used these like legit. So pray for me. I'm going to take on a silicone brush. Jelly Much eyeshadows. I don't know why I've never used these because they are pretty. They're really nice. And from what I remember, like in terms of swatching these, they've always had a great swatch. They don't feel crusty as long as they get blended out fully. They're red. I'm gonna go back over it with that berry shade, Yours Truly, just to like tone it down just a little bit. Who would have thought the first video I come back on and I'm doing everything. I'm throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this look. I'm just gonna take the shade Fave Tex, whatever, which is a true red, and I'm going to pack it on the heart. One thing I am finding about this palette is like you have to like dig into the top layer to actually get the shade. So, you know, it's giving old school makeup vibes where the makeup wasn't good, or you know, it's just the way that this is pressed. And for the sake of not trying to overdo this look, I'm just going to go in with the shade Just Us to define the edges. To finish this eye, finally, I'm just going to take the shade Totally Smitten, which is the shimmery shade in this palette. I'm going to apply that on the inner corner. Colourpop has re-released with this holiday or Valentine's collection their heart blushes, but these are actually a cream formula instead of the powders. The heart blushes were honestly triggering because this is how I ended up starting working with Colourpop, because their blushes were trash from this collection, and now full circle, not in a good way. But we have the shade Heart's Content, which is a light pink. We have the shade Cutesy Wootsy, which is a deeper reddish pink. more fuchsia, and we have the shade Adore You, which is probably going to be the shade I end up wearing. This is more of your neutral pink. Apply that on the apples of the cheek. Nice, nice, nice. It's not lifting my foundation. Yeah, it didn't lift the foundation. It didn't lift the highlighter I just put on. It looks good over powder. That's a plus. These are really good compared to the powder blushes that they released in these hard packaging. So concentration of pigment is a whole lot better. It doesn't pull ashy. And lastly, to finish this all off, we have 3 new glosses from the Valentine's collection from Colourpop. So we have the shade called One Kiss. It looks very much of a corally pink with shimmer in it. We have Lover Era, which is a red pink with shimmer. And then we have the shade Taken, which is a classic pink with shimmer. Yeah, we're gonna do the deep red. We're gonna do Lover Era. Same classic gloss formula. Colourpop's glosses are really good. Their wands have always just been the issue. This is a good paddle wand. The paddle wands I feel like are the best ones for these glosses. So okay, so this is it. It's the final look. Hopefully this looks like a cherub angel. If not, then we just turn on a bunch of color for nothing. But overall, I have not tried a single bad product today. Or at all, which is really great. The primer held up really good. I do think that because it is so skincare influenced, that it holds up better than Hydro Grip, because I did feel like Hydro Grip would skip in some areas on my face. I haven't seen any skipping on my face. You be the judge. Foundation, just don't call it a CC cream. It's not a CC cream, it's a foundation. But other than that, it's great. The concealer is great. It worked really great, especially with eyeshadow going over top of it. The color corrector is really great. Let me just color corrector, but I do appreciate the fact that there is a pink color corrector for deeper complexions. Everything was great. Everything was great. Literally everything was great. The brows have held up really well, so I don't have a single bad note. Love that for me. I hope y'all enjoyed this voyage back into posted on YouTube. Not making any promises of whatever whatsoever, but we are going to attempt to get back to being consistent and posting, because although like TikToks and Reels are cute, but like I feel like my strength has always been long form content, so we're going to continue with long form content and then cut that long form content down so that way we can make TikToks just be the algorithm's sake. So thank you for watching if you're watching. I'm looking forward to posting more things, and you can follow on all the socials, which is NeonMUA. Literally nothing's changed. And until next time, take care, you guys.